What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today's video, we're going to be back to work on the off-road mini quad, and the goal in today's video is to finally finish this thing up, finally be done working on it completely, and actually be able to test this thing out, rip it around a bunch, beat the crap out of it, and see kind of what breaks and what doesn't. And then after that, we can finally get it all painted up and looking good, but there is still a few things that we got to work on in today's video. But if you haven't seen a couple videos I've done on this thing, picked up the frame for about $100, swapped in a 6.5 horsepower motor, and we finally got it test driving in the last video for the first time, and this thing rips, does its thing. It's not really too fast, but it's all right for right now. For later, we'll probably end up doing a different rear sprocket just because that was the only one I had lying around here. But for right now, it does its thing. I think it does about 30. But today, we're going to be installing a new kind of ATV style gas tank on this thing to replace this stock gas tank that comes on these 6.5 horsepower motors. And then in doing so, will actually let me reroute this little snorkel intake I got on here, actually shorten it up a bunch and mount it up permanently. I have a little 3D printed mount that I printed up so to mount it up into the factory gas tank points right on the front of the motor there, and literally look exactly like the mini drift quad over here, kind of just nice and simple, going right into the carb there. So that's the way I like it, with this kind of gas tank up in the top. So that's kind of the goal here. Install this gas tank up here on the two mounts it's got from the factory. It might look a little funky for right now, but we'll kind of see how it does. I kind of just mocked it up real quick. I'm not really too sure how I like it. But other than that, we're actually going to be working on the exhaust as well, because last video we ended up extending the exhaust out and putting a muffler on it. But we still need to brace this thing up, because over time this thing will crack and end up breaking apart. So picked up some metal from my local Tractor Supply, and we're gonna brace that exhaust up. And then I also picked up some heat wrap so we can heat wrap it up, so we ain't gotta worry about it catching any fires or burning my legs on it anymore. And then I also started just trimming up the side cover for the torque converter, so then we can mount all that up and cover up the torque converter, get that all looking clean. And then other than that, she should be pretty much finished up and ready to rip around and actually enjoy it and beat the crap out of it. So let's get to work on it. I think I'm gonna start working on the exhaust real quick, pull it off, start bracing it all up and stuff, get that all knocked out so we don't have any gas fumes in the garage when I'm trying to weld. And then after that, we can start working on the gas tank and stuff. So catch you guys here in a little bit once I get the exhaust all knocked out and we're starting to work on the gas tank. What's up, guys? So it's actually the next day. Yesterday, I ended up just pulling the exhaust off and getting it all knocked out real quick. And then at that point, kind of just called it a day. Got busy with a few other things, but we're back to work on the mini off-road quad today. And I got the exhaust pulled off still, so I can show you guys what I did to it. So I added a piece of metal, welded it right here to the flange, and kind of braced it all the way back here, pretty much almost to this part where the muffler kind of screws in there. And then I wrapped it up in some heat wrap, so then everything looks good, kind of looks clean. And I really like this black heat wrap. I think I'm gonna use that in the future. So now we can get that all bolted back on, and she is good to go. Had to do a little bit of clearancing on it, just so you can see right here, I kind of bent it around because it gets really close to the valve cover there. But other than that, she is good to go. We can bolt that right on. And I think I'm gonna bolt up the torque converter cover as well, just to kind of get that knocked out real quick. I might need to toss a zip tie on it because I have these two front bolts, but since I had to do a lot of trimming and it's really tight back here, I kind of lost the two back bolts, so I might need to toss a little zip tie on there. But other than that, we can pull the quad outside, start draining out the gas out of this gas tank because this thing's like half full, and start swapping on the new gas tank we got for it, get it all bolted up. I think I need to toss a riv nut up in this front mount there or something, and then we can start finishing up the snorkel kit, finally wrap up the mini off-road quad and get this thing finished up completely and enjoy it. So I'm gonna get to work, knock out a few things, and I'll probably throw you guys up on a time lapse and show you guys what I got going on. So you guys just saw, we got the ATV all wrapped up and finished, and she is ready to rip and actually test out and do whatever with at this point. So you guys just saw, got the new gas tank installed on there, got all the new fuel lines put in there, even threw a fuel filter in there. Kind of came with this red fuel line, so I was like, why not toss it in there? Kind of matches the red motor. And got the intake all shortened up, and I got my little mount on there. Normally I had a stud going through and it would just bolt right up, but that stud was just a little too big for these factory gas tank holes, so I'm gonna have to drill that out later on. But a couple zip ties and she's good to go. So she's all mounted up in there and she's looking good. Super happy with how this thing came out. Not really too much work at the end of the day, but it's just a little bit of tedious work, just kind of cleaning up everything, actually taping up this tube, because that takes a little bit. And if anyone's actually wondering what tape I use, it's actually called Tessa tape. So it's like a cloth, kind of fire resistant tape, and it's kind of nice to work with. It looks a lot better than electrical tape, so I like to wrap up the tubes in that, so it kind of matches the header now with the black heat wrap, so everything's looking good, and this thing is finally ready to go. The only thing I will say about this gas tank is I'm not sure how I like it kind of mounted just up on the top here. It kind of seems like it'll wiggle around a bit, so I think once we actually tear this thing down and actually get it ready for paint, I'm probably going to redo this mount and kind of just add some flat bars on top of the main frame bars and drill some holes so the tank has a little bit more surface area to sit on the frame, and it'll actually drop it down this like 2 inches right here, just kind of have it sit flush on here and kind of look like the mini drift quad over there. But other than that, it's not really too bad. This should do us fine for right now, at least for testing, and then we can see maybe it'll break, maybe it won't, or later on we'll just change it up like how we want to and make it nice. But other than that, let me know what color combos you guys want to see me do on this thing. I'm a little unsure. I already painted the mini quad yellow, so I don't want to do yellow on this one. I kind of want to switch it up a little bit. Been kind of eyeing red just because the motor's red, so I think it might be kind of cool, kind of tie it all together. But I know it's gonna beat the crap, so I know whatever color I'm gonna do, I want to have it at least kind of easy to touch up, no problem. So black has kind of just been an option too, maybe black with a bunch of red accents or something, but we'll figure it out. Let me know what you guys think. I posted a short on this thing, seeing if anyone would give me some good colors, and a few of them did, so kind of interested in a couple of those, so we'll see. But other than that, that's gonna be it today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed finishing up the off-road mini quad. And next video on this thing, we should actually be taking it out off-road and beat the hell out of this thing and actually test it and see what we can break on it. But so far everything's been good with it, so we can see what happens. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hope you like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more content, and peace out.